Good morning everyone, I'm here with Duck in Valletta. I just finished watching the video that I uploaded on LinkedIn and I realised that I was cut off halfway through. I'm not sure exactly why that's happened, but what I'm doing here is finishing off the tail end of that video. Now what I did want to mention is the video finished where I mentioned that I was arrested at the Department of Education here in Malta because I was pursuing a university degree 2 years ago. They did make false allegations to bring about police presence. They said that I was loitering around government cars, acting suspicious, taking down number plates. None of this was correct. None of it was true actually. Anyway, the police came and because I refused to move, I was arrested 2 years ago by the Valletta police station. I was sitting there for 6 hours, as I explained in a previous video, and that was pursuing a university application, which again was rejected on, I believe, at the time, no valid grounds. I did qualify as a mature-aged applicant, requiring no documents, and they were finding all sorts of excuses to reject that application. So anyway, then they were saying I couldn't prove my credentials. They asked me to produce paperwork. I produced paperwork like a CV, of course with 16 years of work experience with gaps, because I did have 2 children in the midst of all that. And then after asking me to produce that, then they wanted me to prove those credentials. I would have preferred to produce no documents, as I was not required to do so. Anyway, so this was the tail end of the video that I wanted to continue. The police did come. They arrested me because I didn't want to move. As soon as I was removed from the site, taken into a police car to the Valletta police station, the Minister for Education, Everest Bartolo, came out and left the building. Of course, he couldn't leave while I was standing outside because I was going to ask him for 5 minutes of his time, basically to pursue that application 2 years ago. Anyway, I was taken to the Valletta police station. The police officers were doing their job in accordance to the information they had received from the department. I was then referred to, while at the station, Daryl Borge, who was the inspector. I went upstairs to speak to him. He was, to be quite honest guys, he was amazing. Now for me to speak like this about a cop, he's obviously done a good job. He went through a document that I had, a 32-page document. It was produced originally to the OPM, who I believe didn't even read it. It was a proposal for a rehabilitation centre titled Trentester for women and children of family violence to rehabilitate cycles of abuse at the core by implementing a 12-step program. Now, he had a look at these documents. I think what I really found wonderful about this inspector, who did let me go, who did open the doors and set me free, and so he should have. I was not committing a crime. But I think what I found really honest about him is that he saw my intentions, and he also saw the dream that I had, which is the reason I was pursuing a university. He took the time to scan through quickly the report that I was holding, and he saw that my intentions were honest, and he appreciated my point of view. Now he did his job. He opened the doors and let me go. He did advise me actually to next time to make an appointment through the correct channels, but of course they weren't letting me through the doors to go upstairs and do that, and I didn't have a mobile phone. Then it was suggested that I borrow a phone from a local hotel, but of course not all hotels are cooperative because they say it's for staff use. Anyway, that application, by the time I finished, trying to contact the correct people through the correct channels, that it was too late to file that application. October 1st had come, and that's the start of the new scholastic year for university. So I let that go. Last year I made another application to study English and psychology, and another interesting turn of events, guys. I'm going to move because these Maltese people have decided to have a very loud conversation right under my nose, And this place is so big, you know, they could have gone absolutely anywhere. But they enjoy my attention. I am quite stunning. I don't blame them.